Welcome back, boys and girls, to another exciting TheKillerNacho Wi-Fi battle, and I am battling a relatively new member of my Discord, and that is Real Ivan, opposed to, I guess, the fake Ivan, I guess. But no, this is a pretty cool guy, and this team is actually featuring. I'm just gonna do a, you're just gonna see it for yourself. But I've actually, this is the fourth battle I've done with this team, and this team has actually absolutely wrecked the other three people. Like they weren't even good enough to post. But being that this battle is being posted, I guess you can tell it's probably going to be a little bit better. So anyway, this guy is obviously a Pikachu fan, so shame on him. Gonna have to steamroll him if we can. Anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and lead with my Rotom, and this is Rotom Wash. And he's gonna go ahead and lead with Landorus. I'm just gonna go for a Hydro Pump right off the bat. Now this is probably his worst play of the entire match. He U-turns here, and I think he was predicting a Will-O-Wisp or something. But he should not have taken this risk. He goes into Minior, and Minior is weak to both of my stab moves, water and electric, so this was just an awful move, and this is easily his worst move of the match. I was just going for a Hydro Pump, figuring, I could probably hit most things hard, and no, he goes into Minior, and that's just going to get one shot, so a quick 6-5 advantage for me, as Rotom is looking pretty good. So in comes is Manectric, almost certainly his Mega, and he's going to go ahead and, I believe, Mega Evolve. I believe what I do is I just hard switch here into my Stakataka, right? Stakataka, yeah, I think so. And you guys saw last video probably that I actually did take hits from this Mega Manectric pretty well. So I'm just going to try to go for it again. He goes for the Overheat, which is actually probably the best thing he could do because it's not stabbed and it's going to lower his special attack, so he pretty much has to switch out now. And he is just going to hard switch and not even bothering Volt Switch, and he's just going to go into his own Rotom. And he has a very cool, shiny Rotom Wash, and I just go for the Stealth Rocks, wanted to set them up. And yeah, it's pretty nice for me. So, I go for a Protect here. I want to see what, maybe try to scout this thing set. He goes for the Will-O-Wisp, so I know that he's probably going to be a bulky Rotom like mine. So, I decide to stay in, though. I don't really mind taking the Will-O-Wisp. I wanted to get this thing Toxic Poisoned. He's going to switch it up and go for a Hydro Pump, which nearly kills me, but thanks to Skatataka's very good bulk, I'm going to be able to actually live it and get this thing Toxic Poisoned, so that's not bad at all. I'm going to go for the Protect, mainly to, burn another turn, or to force him another turn of Toxic Poison, so that'll start racking up, and I wanted to see what maybe he would try to use, and it is Volt Switch. I'm going to go ahead and switch, though. I go to my own Rotom. I know that no matter what he does, it's not really going to hurt me. He goes for the Hydro Pump, which is actually probably the best thing for me, because I resist that, and he's going to take another round of Toxic Poison. I believe this is the third turn, so it's going to be some nice little chip damage there. So any switch, he's probably almost certainly going to try to switch. I go for the Volt Switch as well, and I'm kind of thinking he's also going to Volt Switch. He's not going to want to stay in on another Toxic. I go into my Landorus, so because I'm just banking on the fact he's going to Volt Switch and not, Hydro Pump. And indeed, he does go for the Volt Switch, so that's amazing, because now this Rotom is forced to stay in again. He does have, what is this berry? Some weird berry I've never really... Oh, the Ipa berry, which triggers at 25%. It's actually not a bad berry. But yeah, I don't want to take a Hydro Pump, so I'm going to go to my kommo-o now. And instead he just goes for a Pain Split, so he's going to get a little bit of HP back there. And this kommo-o is not a physical kommo-o. This is a Z-move kommo-o, but he doesn't know that. And I'm going to also carry Automatize. This is a modest kommo-o, and it's a set I actually really, really like. So I'm going to Automatize, and that's going to raise my speed. And he's going to go for the Will-O-Wisp, thinking that I'm going to be a physical Goodra, which normally would cripple me. Any physical Goodra, which the majority of Goodras were in Sun and Moon. Even though it's, his special move was special. Well, his unique move was special. But in Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, you can also power it up with the Commonium Z and trigger probably one of my favorite new moves. In fact, probably is my favorite new move in Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. That's Clangorous Soul Blade, which is quite a powerful move. It's going to be able to kill this Rotom. The Rotom is nearly dead anyway. I could have killed him with anything. So it's not really like I'm going for the damage. But the really cool thing about this Z move is it gives you a rainbow boost on top of the damage. So now I'm sitting at +1 in all stats, +3 speed. So my kommo-o, even though it's modest, can pretty much outspeed anything. And I am not physical, so I don't really care about this Intimidate. I don't care about this Burn. It's just minor chip damage. And I'm just going to go Berserk. And this is actually what happened in the first 3 games. Both of them, I think 2 of them were 6-0 kommo-o sweeps, and 1 of them was a 5-0 sweep, all with kommo-o. This thing it just went insane, and it wasn't even bad players either that I used this against. I mean, Toronto Pure I 6-0'd, and just destroyed. everything. And so, yeah, he's going to go into Manectric. He's going to try to protect, get some damage, and now I'm just going to kill him. Now, unfortunately for me, this guy actually did bring one of the premier special walls in the game, and that's Alolan Muck. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to probably break through this thing's amazing special defense, even at +1. And indeed, it hits him down to yellow, and he has another... Oh, he has a Figgy Berry. Whatever. And, unfortunately, kommo-o is not going to be able to sweep, but, man, I don't usually post sweeps, but I was tempted to post the 6-0 against Toronto Pure. But needless to say, I am really liking this kommo-o, and it was nice to get off a little... Well, I got a 2-mon sweep with it, and I really crippled that Muck. And considering it's probably Assault Vest Muck, and, you know, Alolan Muck has insane special defense, that still did a lot. So, pretty excited about that. Anyway, so gonna go to Landers. He's gonna go into his own Landers as I U-turn, which is fine. So now I can get the switch advantage. I'm just going right back into my Rotom. He knows that I pretty much have, well, I have Will-O-Wisp and Hydro Pump. He doesn't really want to take either. I believe I try to go for the Will-O-Wisp this turn. And he is going to go ahead and try to set up his own Z move here to try to get some advantage back. And I believe it was Rockium Z? Yes, I think, yes, the Continental Crush. So this is Z Stone Edge. It's going to do decent damage, but I am bulky Rotom, physically bulky to be precise, so I'm pretty confident I should be able to live this. And I do. In fact, I take that actually better than I thought. And I do go for the Hydro Pump instead of the Will-O-Wisp. And I miss. So, there we go. And he is going to try to finish me off here with Stone Edge. And he is able to. So, that's unfortunate as my Rotom goes down. And I'm just going to go back to my own Landorus. It's a pretty safe switch in because Landorus switches in pretty safely to Landorus. Unless that Landorus has Hidden Power Ice, which I don't think he does, being that he was Rockium Z. He's just going to go ahead and go for that U-turn. And he's actually going to deal more damage to himself with... due to my Rocky Helmet. And he's going to go into Muck here, so that's not a very good switch, but he doesn't really have many good options at this point. I believe he's down to his last 2 Pokemon. As I just go for a U-turn as well, so I was actually slower, and was like, oh man, now I kind of wish I could stay in with Landorus and Earthquake it, you know? But no, I'm just going to go into my Entei, and yeah, I have, this is a Choice Band Entei. He has 3 Pokemon left, so yeah, there you go. I'm just going to go for a Sacred Fire. It's a Choice Banded one, so that's going to obviously kill it. And yeah, he's just going to go back into his Landorus and get the Intimidate off on me. But I think I try to stay in here because I figure a Choice Banded Sacred Fire... No, I don't. I switch out. I don't want to take an Earthquake. I go into... No, that was a good switch. I sack off my stock Taka because I know it's at like 7 HP and I want to, you know, just see what he does. And if he does go for the U-turn, I get more Rocky Helmet damage there. And I also get to see what he switches into, and then I can switch into whatever I want. And he is going to go ahead and go into the Garchomp, which I'm not really sure what set this is going to be. It could be a bulky Garchomp. It could be a Scarfed one. I go into my Gardevoir anyway, just so, because if it is, I mean, he can't go for an Outrage against me if he is a Scarf one. So I'm just going to go ahead and Mega Evolve. I'm just going to obviously go for the Hyper Voice and see what he tries to do. And unfortunately, he does carry the Poison Jab, which will be super effective. But I actually live it with just a few HP, which is actually kind of impressive considering Gardevoir is really, really frail to physical moves. And I do get off the Hyper Voice to be able to kill the Garchomp. And his last Pokemon is this Landorus, and it is weakened, and I should be able to outspeed and kill it now with Hyper Voice. So yeah, that was a fun little game there. Real Ivan, I hope to have another one soon. Actually, no, he does outspeed me. He must actually, this actually might be a Scarf Landorus, I'm not sure. But no, he just goes for the Explosion, which is a good way to end the battle, with a Kapow. So, props on that. And today's question of the day is going to be, which Pokemon in Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon do you think improved the most? Now, a lot of Pokemon changed a lot, you know, with the new move tutors, and new level up moves some of them got. So, there's a lot of moving pieces right now in the meta. As for me, it's hard for me to say any other Pokemon other than kommo-o. Every time I've used it, it's been outstanding. It doesn't matter if it's a physical set, because close combat helps a lot on that, you know, side of it, and or a even a special set. This special set, like I said, has done so much work. I've used this team 4 times, just trying to get a battle because I wanted to, you know, post a battle with kommo-o, and I'm gonna have to use this more because it is pretty fantastic. I like it. It is, it reminds me of like Porygon Z, you know, when he gets that rainbow boost, except it does a ton of damage in the process, and no one really expects Autotomize, which just gives you +2 speed right there, as opposed to Dragon Dance, which, you know, you would need 2 turns of setup to get that. It lets you really run Modest as well, as your opponent, either, you know, presumes it's going to be physical, or, you know, tries to switch out, you get that +2 speed, and can just pop off that, you know, Dragon Z move. I think in OU, it's going to be a little bit hurt by the fact that Tapus are so rampant because obviously they are immune to Dragon. But I think it's going to really wreak havoc. I predict kommo-o will be at least UU in this, not before long. But yeah, leave a comment about that and see you guys again next time. Later.